What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is September 9th, 2025. I did nothing today. And because of that, in my mind, I won. Having a no trade day for me personally is very tough to do because, well, I just have an affliction for trading. I love trading and I feel like I have to do it every day. So when I don't take a trade, yes, it's a struggle. Yes, it's a fight. But it was also helpful to a lot of people in our community today. And I'll explain that in just a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to consider going to buy this book right here. I'm also going to ask you to consider joining my Discord community. It is free for the first week and it could stay free if you'd like. You don't have to become a paying member to be there. All the links for all that stuff's down below. Also, the convergence, divergence cards that I made for you guys. Go grab you a set of those as well. Those are free as well. I didn't like the market today, and we're going to cover why here in this video. It's not going to be a very long video because I don't have a whole lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the charts and take a look at what was a problem for me and why I had determined not to do anything, especially after 30 minutes leading into the open. If you look at pre-market here, guys, this is not good. Okay, this is not good. This tells me, without even telling me, I don't look at volume, that this is low volume and it's going to be low volatility, which means contracts aren't going to be moving so much. There was no catalyst today. The levels on the Qs were pretty tight ranges, both to the upside and the downside. I just didn't like the chart today. And the only reason I showed up on the microphone is because, well, it's my job. Otherwise, I would have taken one look at this chart and gone back to bed, or just grabbed a cup of coffee and did something a lot more entertaining, like watching paint dry. Now, on days that the charts look like this, it doesn't mean that the trading day itself is all for naught, meaning it's very possible that the pre-market is not a preview of what the entire day is going to look like. But it's a good indication of some things that you need to take note of. Number one, if we are in a very tight range in pre-market, that's probably because of the things I just mentioned. A lower volume, a lack of volatility, and no catalysts. Okay? Now, if you want to sit there and watch the charts chop around, bounce around in a tight range, that's fine. It may change throughout the day. You know, we might get a headline, or there might be a report later in the day that's going to kick the market off, or we might cross a major level that sparks some buying or some selling. The question you have to ask yourself there is, are you patient enough to wait for that thing or that time? Me, I struggle with patience. So today, we had a call put scenario, but we put them very far apart. The call line was at 580.19, 580.20. We wanted to be above pre-market high on the Qs and below 578.60 on the Qs. I didn't even have my phone in my hand. I was not going to take an opening trade today. I made this abundantly clear to everybody in the community. Chart was booty. It was booty cheeks. And the open was no different. We kind of just chopped sideways. Nothing that made us feel good. We were putting in lower highs and at times. And when that was happening, it seemed like ADD was going the wrong way. So even when the setups on the Qs chart look good, ADD wasn't confirming. We did cross the put line, but we did so at 10 o'clock, number one, with a big green ADD candle. Not something I'm interested in taking. And it was at that point that I pretty much just said to myself, you know what? I'm just not going to trade at all today. I had seen enough of the chart that made me lose not only enough interest, but enough faith in the chart. So still having the urge to want to trade because I enjoy it so much, I literally took the ability for me to do so and made it a lot more inconvenient by moving my phone. I literally took my phone and put it in another room in the house. And I do that because, well, I don't want to be tempted. I lose to my temptations, which is another important thing that you guys really need to pay attention to if you're struggling. And not just in trading, but in general. Okay. I know for a fact that when I am faced with what I consider to be a weakness, whether it's in trading or eating or exercising or whatever it is, I usually lose to those weaknesses if I have to face them one-on-one, face-to-face. So as I'm sitting here staring at a chart, my body wants to take a trade, even if it's not in my best interest, and my phone makes it possible for me to do it. So instead of getting myself in a situation, I take my phone and I put it somewhere else so that it's less of a situation for me. Now, I did come to regret that decision about 20 minutes after I made the choice to not take any trades today. So it doesn't go without some punishment from Steve. Now, who's Steve? Well, if you've watched my videos for long enough, you know who Steve is. But we were moving past 10 o'clock, still rejecting the same area on the Qs, couldn't get above pre-market high on SPY. We put in a lower high. And I had already told everybody in the group, I said, guys, I'm not taking any trades today, but since we're here, I will call out the setups just like we do every other day. Just know that I'm not taking them. So in advance, no, I'm not trading for the day. That shouldn't matter to anybody. And for the most case, it doesn't, okay? Because there were still people who took trades today, even though I said I wasn't going to. So that's good. Follow your trade plan, follow your rules, and that's all that matters. I didn't like what I saw. I don't like to trade when I'm uncomfortable with what I'm seeing. And therefore, I choose not to trade. I don't want to be in an uncomfortable trade. And you shouldn't want to either. But as we move down here, I said, guys, this is a lower high. If ADD's printing red, the next level down, we should break the support. The next one down is right here, where we put in the double bottom at 10.04. People got into this trade. I was one of those people. I was not. It went down. We put in another lower high. It went down and through our target, straight down to the next orange line, straight down to the pink line, and even a little bit lower. That was a beautiful trade to the downside. And again, the setup was there. ADD was printing red. We're coming off lower highs on the Qs. We're expecting to break support and at least get down to the next support. That was it. The move happens. And then we start to put in higher lows. I call out a higher low. So guys, this is the same trade we just saw, but in reverse. We don't want to buy puts off of higher lows. We want to be looking for calls. As long as there's room to move to the next resistance, that's what we're trying to take. Is ADD printing green? If it is, that's a go, okay? So we put in the higher low. You got your green go candle. ADD starts printing green. We're expecting to break resistance and hopefully head up to the next resistance. Now, we did fall short of that resistance, which was, we were hoping, at 579.08. It didn't get there, but you still got a full dollar move on the Qs, which translated into almost a dollar move or maybe over a dollar move on SPY. Was a winning trade. You just had to protect your profits. And as we started to struggle up here and ADD started to print a red candle, I said, guys, this is where you're going to want to tighten up your stop losses or put a trail stop in. Hope that we continue to climb up from here. If we don't, you get out of the trade, still locking in decent profit and leave it alone. That was pretty much it because we were getting close to 12 o'clock at that point. And by this time, either most of the people in our community either decided not to trade at all, or they took their trades and they were either green or red already and they were done. Just wasn't a great day for trading. And if you started to try and trade, I would say, I don't know, after 12 o'clock, boy, you got a whole bunch of theta sandwich to eat for lunch other than this last move up here. But, you know, that's 1 minute till close. With that said, guys, we have to be aware of our weaknesses, and you can't pretend like they don't exist, because if you do, they will come up out of nowhere like an evil surprise. If you know, you know. And they usually win. At least in my case, they do. So today was a big deal for me, and you may not care, but if you struggle with the same things that I do, just like a lot of other day traders do, We don't have unique issues, to be honest. Most day traders struggle and suffer from the same problems, and we struggle with the same issues. And addressing them is important, not only for me and my own trading, but for me to help you try to identify what may be preventing you from taking that next step forward, or what may be keeping you out of trades that end up working out, or what may be creating hesitation in the trades you are taking. You got to work on this stuff. It's very important. Okay. We're going to wrap it up. So I hope you found some useful information in this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join my Discord community, well, I would love to have you. As I said before, links are down below. First week is completely free. You don't have to put any credit card information or nothing. That way you don't have to worry about canceling because you forgot to do so. If it turns out you don't want to stay or don't want to be a paying member, no problem. Also, buy my book. It's a good one. There's charting sessions in there, live videos that I made for the people who bought this book, showing you exactly how to chart these lines, which are deadly accurate, by the way. It's probably the thing I'm best at. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you all had a fantastic day. Hopefully tomorrow brings more movement, more volume, more volatility. We do have some reports, so I'm hoping that to be the case. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Till tomorrow, I love you guys. See you.